So Wolves have finally made a signing, finally. John Percy broke it an hour or so ago. Nathan Collins coming in from Burnley for around 20 million, which is surprising because it seemed like it was going to be a lot higher than that when we were looking a few weeks ago. But yep, first signing done, apart from Huang, obviously. And I think this is a good signing. Before when I was preparing to do this video, I wrote some notes and they're all pretty positive. I don't really find any negatives, or very few anyway. Look, this is the type of signing I want Wolves to make. I've been speaking to people on Twitter and stuff, and people have been suggesting people like Belotti and these sort of guys. Look, this is the sort of signing I want Wolves to make. 20 to 25, decent underlying numbers in a good league. Take a punt on them. They're not good enough for a top six club yet, but they have the potential to be. Take a punt on them. And even if it doesn't work out, they're young enough that they'll have resale value. And Nathan Collins fits that bracket. Look, is Nathan Collins perfect? No. Is there a concern that, the two concerns I have with Nathan Collins, barely played senior football, really. He's a 21-year-old, really. Well, no, he literally is a 21-year-old, but he's not really played loads of minutes. He only played 19 games for Burnley, ultimately. And he didn't play loads for Stoke. So, we're not buying a necessarily experienced centre-back, which some people might want, I guess. But ultimately, Wolves have had a lot of old centre-backs over the last few years. Bennett, Bolly, Miranda, Cody. It's not like we've had Sace. It's not like we've had a proper young centre-back who's had some experience. And he's only played in the Burnley system. Like when you look at Nathan Collins' numbers, they're literally just what you expect from a Burnley centre-back. Loads of, high in like goal scoring metrics. Burnley put so many crosses in, have so many set pieces. Aerially dominant, obviously on 4.5 aerial wins. Like FBref does this thing where it kind of profiles players that are similar to them in their position. All three of Burnley's centre-backs profile like each other. That's not a coincidence. That's a system thing. So it's kind of, I'd love to like go through Nathan Collins' numbers and stuff, but it's dependent on a system. So we're kind of going to have to trust the club's scouting and his appearances for Ireland and I don't know why I just did an accent, and at Stoke. But generally, there's enough there for me to suggest this be a good signing. Obviously, Wolves need someone that's good in the air. Of course, being a Burnley means you'll win more aerial wins, but just because you're playing for Burnley doesn't mean, just because you're playing for a more possession side doesn't mean you can't have good aerial wins. I think Shane Duffy's top of that metric. Yeah, but like last season, Nat Phillips was top in Europe for aerial wins, and obviously he was playing for Liverpool, so it's not just because he's playing a relegation wing. He's clearly good in the air. 6'2" adds height. 6'3" adds height. That's something Bruno spoke about in his Ask Wolves thing that he did a few months ago. He said he wanted someone in the air. Obviously, he got 2 goals in pretty limited minutes last season, which is always a nice thing. Something Wolves lacked last season. Played a bit of right back as well when he was at Stoke. And obviously with Semedo's injury, Keanu Herver leaving, especially if Wolves switch to back four, he's not going to play wing back. But he might be okay to slot in at right back for a couple of games. It's a good age. Only just turned 21, played Premier League level already. It's a very un-Wolves signing in a lot of ways. Wolves don't really use the British market very often. And we've missed out on, obviously not English, but British market. And we've missed out on some pretty big names that we were linked with. We nearly bought Tammy Abraham, that fell through. Apparently we tracked James Maddison, but never really made a move. But I'm pretty sure we were linked with Jared Bowen, if memory serves. Pretty decent reports on that as well. So, but I think, I have no issue with Wolves using the Portuguese market. We've had a stranglehold and it works out for us pretty well generally, but sometimes it does get boring. It's nice that Wolves are open to exploring other markets, and it has got a bit tedious recently. So I like the thought behind it. Obviously, he's a full international and he's played in the back four pretty much his whole career at Stoke and Burnley. Do I think this means Wolves are going to guaranteed switch to a back four? No, but it allows that option. It'd be interesting to see what Bruno does. Obviously, we're playing a back four in pre-season, but we did that last year. Do I think a back four of Collins, Cody and Kilman can work? Yeah. They're all pretty different profiles. Nathan Collins is your physical guy, Kilman's your ball carrier, Cody's your distributor. That kind of makes sense, but Wolves do need to switch to a back four eventually, and Nathan Collins, Kilman, Bolly and I guess Totti as backup. That's a pretty nice roster of centre-backs, and all of a sudden Wolves have gone from having Sace 30, Bolly 30, Brian Bennett 28 or whatever it was, so all of a sudden the age of that's gone down. Max Kilman, a lot of people value him as like a £40 million centre-back. We're paying 20 million for Collins. They're both pretty young. All of a sudden the complexity of Wolves' defence changes a lot. So I don't really have any issues with the sign. It looks like it's going to get done. Obviously it's not 100% a done deal yet, but it looks like it's going there. I'm just happy that this can calm down Wolves fans a bit. The amount of arguments I've been having with people on Twitter saying we're going to get relegated, we're not buying anyone, you're deluded, why are you defending Fossard, why are you defending Scott Sellers? I hope this will calm people down a bit. The market's starting to move now, more stuff starting to happen. We're going away on tour next week. Hopefully we can get Collins in by then. Because I'm not really asked about signing a striker or winger. You know, I think you can kind of slot them in. But if Wolves are working on switching to a back four, you want your centre back and you want your midfielder in. And by the way, karma for Chiquinho as well. You know, Burnley injured Chiquinho. They screwed over us getting into Europe twice. Remember the Matt Doherty handball against Burnley, and then last season Burnley beat us at a pretty key moment. This is karma, man. And by the way, Burnley fans are fuming that they're letting him go. Like, I know he was highly rated by Burnley fans, but 20 million for any relegated club for kind of any player is always a good fee. But they're all raging by it. So yeah, overall, are his numbers great at Burnley? No, but I think that's more of a system thing. We're gonna have to judge the club's recruitment on that, or trust their recruitment on that, and their scouting. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's the right type of sign, at least for what I want. Young, got good resale value. And even if it goes horribly wrong, we'll probably get half our money back. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on Nathan Collins. Good signing, right profile, a position we've desperately needed for what, 3 years since we let Ryan Bennett go. No more centre backs, no more midfielders playing at centre back, and yeah, what Bruno wants in a centre back. And I just can't find any negatives. I just think it's a really good signing. And I mean, I hate to say it before people will crucify me, but fair play to Scott Sellers and Jeff Shee. And hopefully it's just the first of many. Enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.